2016 home invasion thriller movie written and directed by Fede Alvarez. It focuses on these three thieves. One of the thieves, his dad owns a security company and he has access to all the people's houses who has his security. And the kid goes, gets their key and all their information for their security the security for the house, and they go into the house, disarm the alarms, and take a bunch of valuables. Well, they hear that one of them is sitting on around $300,000, and the kid isn't comfortable with it. He doesn't like stealing money because it becomes bigger crimes than it is just stealing, I guess, items from the house. And he eventually says screw it because he feels sorry for the female of the movie. She has a younger sister, they live in a slump, a broken home, and she just wants to better their lives. And what better way to better their lives than stealing from rich people, you know, kind of like Robin Hood, I guess. Anyways, so they get to the guy's house, and it's on complete lockdown. Everything's boarded up, there's bars in the windows, it's impossible to get in, but they get in through this window that's in the bathroom, and they get into the house, and they're making mistakes left and right. They're being really loud, and they don't realize that the owner of the house is a blind army vet who has, you know, enhanced, what's the word I'm looking for, like enhanced hearing and all that stuff, other senses, enhanced senses, there we go, yeah. And so they break into his house, he wakes up, gets a hold of one of the people, and the dude lies and says, oh, I'm by myself, so he kills him. So it's up to the other two to get the money and make it out of the house alive. And then it just becomes a big thrill ride of them trying to get away from him, but he always has the upper hand, and they just can't seem to get a break. And eventually, the girl gets out and gets away with the money. That is the review for the movie. Now I'm going to tell you what I liked and I didn't like. And yes, it's going to contain spoilers. What I liked about the movie is how they basically give it away that the three thieves are like amateurs and they don't know what they're doing. That break-in with the house, they're making mistakes left and right. And the camera guy, or the cinematographer, points it out too, which is cool. Like, they'll drop something, or they're really loud at like walking or making noise, and it eventually wakes up the blind man and he just goes to town on the people. When they go down in the basement and it gets pitch black and they turn it into the infrared view, I like that. I don't know why, for some reason I'm a sucker for infrared found footage type things, but it's not like a found footage, you know, because they don't have a camera. They're like, oh, I'm filming the robbery, but that's what I liked. Now, what I didn't like about the movie: there's no character development. They try to make you feel for these three people, but you just don't. I was rooting for the blind man the whole time. I was like, yeah, you know, kill him. They broke into your house and they're trying to take your money. Kill him, kill him. I didn't like how, like, half the time they're like, oh, he's got super great other senses and can still do everything, and then other times they're like, oh, he doesn't know they're there because they're not breathing, so he doesn't know they're there. No, he would still know they're there. You know, he's got his sixth sense and all that stuff from being blind. You know, we've all seen Daredevil. We know Matt Murdock knows when someone's in the room and not, so come on, movies, do it right. Right after the second act, this movie just turns into a big mess and you're just thrown around everywhere, and it's just like, I don't know what's going on, and it's just so hard to follow. And then there's the twist of the movie. So it turns out that blind man had a daughter, and she was killed by this other girl who got away with it because I guess she was, you know, rich white suburban girl. You know, they get away with that kind of stuff apparently, according to the blind man. So he abducts her, holds her captive in his basement, and artificially basically gets her pregnant without, you know, he takes it looks like a turkey baster, and kind of just puts it in and squeezes, and was like, wow, you're pregnant. Well, the two survivors, when they get down into the basement, they find the girl, they, you know, get her off the chains and stuff, and blind man accidentally shoots her and kills her, because when you're blind, I guess you can still see and shoot a gun and hit people in the face. Who would have known? And he finds out he killed her, he gets mad, so he abducts the other girl and basically tells that story and is like, oh, by the way, you're gonna be pregnant now for my kid. And then the other kid comes out of nowhere and bashes him in the head a couple times, and they put handcuffs on him, and he's got like this container filled with his semen that he keeps for some reason. It's really gross and messed up. And the girl takes it and fills it up and shoves it down his throat and squeezes it, and it's just like, what the hell? Ugh. And that like really made me sick, and I was like, oh, that's gross. They had multiple opportunities to kill him. There was parts where they would like zoom in on like weapons and objects and be like, oh, you know, here's this to take him out, but then they did nothing with it, and the kids would just run away and try and hide, even though he can find them because he's the blind man. And this movie was just too predictable and so below average, and it just was just like, what's the point of even making this movie? We've seen it before. It's nothing new. It doesn't bring anything new to the table. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I did not like it at all. Like, I don't want to watch it again. I don't recommend watching it. So on a score from 0 to 10, I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 10 because it was below average, and like the beginning was cool, but then it just fell apart like right when they invade the house, and this movie was hyped and it just didn't live up to the hype. If you want to watch it, I'd wait till it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, or go on a discount day if you have discount days where you live for theaters. So that was my review for Don't Breathe. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. And I will see you on the next Danny Rants and Reviews.